lately, if you've been watching the news or following the news with India, you're going to see that American jobs have been decimated and wiped out. You're watching layoffs happening hand over fist, and they're being replaced with H-1 visas. I'm not too sure if you as my viewers know what that is, but that is where they bring over foreign workers to replace American workers at pennies on the dollar. But now it's even worse. They're actually paying them more money while they keep firing more and more Americans. And my question is, why are they doing this? Because dominance is a checkmate. They want to basically take America down and destroy it within. They want to make sure that citizens no longer have a way to support themselves or to raise or feed their family. And every time they take away a person's job, and we're seeing it in tech right now, because I was in tech. I was out of a job since November. Think about that. Since November, draining through my savings account. And what it's about is dominance. It was checkmate. It's to make us bleed and bleed us dry. So right now we're seeing an invasion happening and nobody's stepping in to stop it. And it is brutal. So it's not about having the best and the brightest. It's really about taking away our ability to earn. They take away our food supply. Now I hear Bill Gates taking away our water and they're using India to take away our economy, dominance, and that's a checkmate. And some more of the influence around it is that they have really close ties with India because they're probably using India as a central hub to grow. So there was something called the Dega report a few years back. It's been erased off the internet recently in the last 3 or 4 years. And it said that it would destroy the United States through economic means. And what do you see and say with these H-1 visas, H-2 visas, and so forth? They're even going after kids in school, the STEM programs, OTP. A lot of college students, I think it's like 82% of college graduates cannot find a job in IT at all. So the circus we're seeing here, the relatives, is the close contact that our politicians align with India. Think about big tech bros, right? Who are they? They're the circus. They're the relative to the White House. Why is that? Because they paid for a seat at the table. Elon Musk gave Trump $250 some odd million. A16Z gave over 50 million, and so forth. All of them have bought their way into the White House, and they control everything. So at the end of the day, the White House is really a house of fascism. We've become an oligarchy. And why is that? They want us to be obedient and comply with whatever they say. They want to go to a digital currency, to a digital dollar. And why is that? So they can control everything that you own. If you don't say the right words, what happens? Boom, turn off, you're done, you're gone. That's what this is about. It's about obedience and 100% compliance. One more card, identity theft and hacked. What have you been hearing too lately about that? You have to go to a digital ID because everybody's being hacked. Credit cards are being scammed. Things are being stolen. Also, if you don't know this, a lot of the telcos have implemented a digital ID through a third-party company called Clear.me. And by the way, they're not one of the... I don't trust them. That's just my opinion. Do your own homework on that. But if you don't have an identification with them, you can't get online with a company, so you lose your job. This happened to me. I refused to take it, and guess what? I was let go. Oh, well, life goes on, but that's the reality of it. You got to take a stand sometime. If you can't stand when it's easy, you sure hell won't be able to stand when it's really hard. Anyway, identity theft. So this is really not so much about identity theft per se as being hacked by hackers, by the government stealing your identity, putting you on a digital currency, hacking your life, your lifestyle, making you a zero or a one, which means you are no longer an anybody. They take away your wealth. They take away your job. Why? So they can give you a government stipend each month of what they think you deserve. And that's what I'm kind of seeing here. Observe. I said deserve. Sorry about that. And then what happens is that you're under surveillance all the time. When cash is king and you have a way to make an income for yourself, they can't really investigate you per se because you can buy things off the market. You can buy things with cash on hand, silver, gold, whatever. But once they go to a digital currency, they can always have an eye on you, always watch everything that you do. So if they don't want you buying something, they turn it off. It's over, right? It's funny too because I saw a episode of The Twilight Zone many years ago, and it always stuck with me. They were in the current times. It's probably within the 80s, right? The show. And these bunch of people stole a bunch of gold from a bank. They ripped the bank off, right? But then they had a time machine to go into the future, all right? So two of the guys were shot. The third guy was slightly wounded, and he escaped and ended up in the future. Anyway, long story short, these people kind of came by him when he was on the road in like a weird like spacecraft that hovered above the road a little bit. And he goes, "Hey, I got gold." And they're like, "That doesn't have any value here anymore." See what I'm saying? So they want to take away every means that you have so you can always be under a lock and key. That is exactly what is going on. That's what's going on, my friends. And so that's why they are allowing India to dominate the country. The basically is economic dominance. I want to use another term. I got to be very careful here on YouTube so I don't get myself flagged. And they're partnering with these foreign countries, and it's not Russia, it is India, and they're trying to remove all of our prosperity. For example, Microsoft just laid off 9,000 American people, and they already have H-1 visas already in play to put these other foreign nationals into work. Not only that, Microsoft also put a couple, I don't know if it was a billion, million, I don't know what it was. It was a large sum of money, look it up, to create a hub over in India as well and start outsourcing work there more and more. We're their AI hub. And by the way, when you hear the term AI, it doesn't mean artificial intelligence. It means another Indian, what we're being replaced by. Anyway, that's the message I'm bringing to you today on the whole H-1B visa issue that I've been tracking pretty closely because it does affect me and I'm concerned about it, but also is going to impact the trade soon because now they're using the H-2B visa to come after your welders, your truck drivers, your landscapers, and so forth. So if we don't stand up as a people, my friends, we're kind of doomed. Dominance, checkmate, game over. And until next time, I want to see you in my next videos. What I mean by that, go watch them. Check them out. All right. See ya. Bye-bye.